Let's go!
Welcome into Behind the Brand podcast. I'm Adam Hayes. To my right is my co-host, Bob Paden. In the middle is our guest, Randall Cloe with Cloe Legal.
Randall, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Happy Friday.
Thanks for wearing your good pants.
That's right. Inside.
So
Happy to oblige.
So behind the podcast, insider
Right,
knowledge.
exactly.
my big boy pants.
Yeah,
There we go.
I like that better.
Big boy lawyer pants. Yeah.
So you haven't always been an attorney. What were you before you were an attorney?
10 years in marketing and advertising as a graphic designer.
Okay.
Yes, this is a story.
Were you in the field at the time of like paper and cool colors and print presses and that kind of time, or was it already into the digital design era?
So one of the interesting things about that part of my life is I went to college. The first year it stopped being commercial art and became graphic design.
Okay.
So I got a degree in graphic design, not commercial art.
Mm.
And then I graduated in the first year that the year before, they put computers into the program.
Okay. Was
So-
it Mac or PC at that time?
That's a good clue.
They were Macs.
Okay.
Yeah.
New Max, right?
And then do you remember the software? The first design software you worked in? Was it like Corel Draw?
Okay, so Quark,
Okay.
Express. No, we had all of the Adobe platforms. So we had, I don't think Freehand was Adobe. We had Illustrator. We had Photoshop.
Yeah.
So we had all of the tools. It just wasn't part of the degree
Right.
or the education. They didn't
had time to
they didn't
integrate
expect
it.
you to do anything with it. It was
Yeah.
just, here's the stuff if you want to try.
Right. Okay.
Which meant that I graduated from college without knowing how to put together a website.
Okay.
So this was like 1960? No.
It's 71.
Oh, funny, that same. So,
He hides his age well.
See, which
yeah.
year did we go to the moon?
Oh, geez.
It was 71, wasn't it?
No, it's before
That
that.
was before that.
67?
60.
It was in the 60s.
Yeah.
All right. So,
No,
Yeah,
Roughly,
so,
roughly when was it?
so my career started kind of at the end of paper and commercial art dying. The beginning, certainly the end of printing presses had gone, and then we were into computers and computer arts for creation.
And so you're weaving and bobbing along in your career, and all of a sudden lightning bolt hits you, and you go, you know what? I think I want to practice law. Tell us about
Tell that story,
how
because you told it to me.
evolved to this.
Okay, so I'm going to say that there was a seed planted in high school
Okay.
Wow.
that I completely disregarded because I was the kid of parents who got their degree after, like they dropped out of high school and then they went back and got their equivalent degree.
Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody in my family worked in a factory, so college was not an expectation. The seed was planted, and there was just no world where it made sense that I could be an attorney. So, just
Who was it that planted the seed?
it was a senior year government class with a teacher, Mrs. Denny, who liked to speak in generalities. She would make very broad statements, which were based on a lot of assumptions, and I
Drove you crazy?
was already like ready to speak more precisely than that, and I don't know. I kind of made a habit of catching her in them.
Oh.
And she just, one day I had just sort of corrected her in a sense. And she just looked me square in the eye and said, like, pause. Everybody's quiet. Have you ever thought about being a lawyer?
You're like, well, no, but I
and
guess
what-
now
just,
maybe.
and just didn't say anything else. She just let
it sit.
Let
Yeah.
it sit. And I'm like, sorry. Yeah, I just dismissed that. Move
Randall will see
on.
me after class.
10 years of marketing and advertising. I'm finally, after 10 years, sitting down with clients. I'm listening to the pain point. They're telling me, you know, what they need. And then we're going back and we're envisioning things. And we put together an ad campaign and then we bring it back to them. And then you just see their face light up. And they're like, this is exactly what we were talking about. This will help us. That was my crack. I needed that. I wanted that over and over. I got really disinterested in going back to the computer and making the
art to
Right.
support it.
yeah.
But you were really good at the strategy and the concept. And
Yes, I wanted to be the problem solver. I just wanted to do that.
So you turned yourself into a creative director.
Yeah.
I had the fancy title, assistant creative director. I was that job for 1 year. We had just done a large RFP. We didn't get the job. Same week, my agency lost its biggest client. Same week, I lost my job.
Wow.
I was the,
Wow.
That was a busy week.
I was the low hanging
I
fruit.
thought we had a bad week this week. I guess. Yeah.
So we had partnered with another agency for that RFP. I called him up. I took him out to lunch. We spent an hour at lunch. The first half hour, I'm just pouring my heart out. I'm like, look, you've done all of this great stuff. You're a bigger agency. I kind of want your job. Can we do a mentor-mentee thing? The next half hour, he tells me how long he had hated that job.
Oh
Wow.
Secret, the little secret. Yeah.
So naturally, I'm a little bit deflated, but I'm also a little bit bullheaded. So I'm like, okay, well, that's you. I think I'd love that job. I gave it 2 more months of looking, which was over 10 years. It had just been a series of 2 or 3 year stints.
Sure.
And I was done. I didn't, it felt like a rat race. It felt like I was just going to get another job for 1 or 2 years. And I was not interested. So I just walked away. I went back to all of the personality tests to figure out what you're supposed to do in the world. And my top 10 list after a decade had not changed. The first one was landscape designer, photographer. It's interior designer, graphic designer, photography, you name it. I'm just no, until I get down to number 7, which was attorney.
And you're like,
And you went-
this is Denny.
Or did you just kind of go, huh? I mean, at that point.
So there was, in that 10 years, job stints, there was a point where I was out of a job for 7 months and bullheaded at that point. I'm like, this is what I went to school for. This is what I'm supposed to do. It'll eventually happen. Lots of people would have just pulled up tent stakes and left right then.
Right.
At that point, which would be about 4 years prior, for whatever reason, that lawyer had circled back in my head. I didn't do anything about it. I didn't investigate it. I didn't go talk to lawyers to figure out what they actually do. But it just percolated. And then once I got to that point where I said, I'm done, I'm walking away from this, lawyer showed up. It was the seed, it was the percolated, and now it's like, do something. So
So what did that look like, though? What did that look like to suddenly just say,
Did you
I
start
wanna
studying
explore,
for the
right.
LSAT, or
Right.
what was the next step, really?
So now we're out of the Stone Age. We have computers.
the big book?
we can easily do some searches online and figure out what that process is. Reach out through family, friends, find some attorneys to go interview, figure out what it is they really do. In my family, you only hired an attorney because you needed a divorce.
Right.
So I didn't really understand the full scope of
Law.
of a lawyer's job until I looked into it. And then once I did, there was just something that clicked perfectly. that I now know, because I can now look back on my past and I can talk clearly and succinctly about that problem solving.
Right.
There was something in the research process that told me that I could be the subject matter expert. I could be the problem solver, and that made sense. So I didn't think it was going to be as good as it has been, but I really felt strongly that it was going to be a great next step, and I just jumped.
And I remember the last time, we had talked about this several years ago, that you found there was art in law. That phrase stuck with me when you said it, when we probably even first met. And I thought that was just really a neat way to put it, right? There's, people, maybe the average citizen, I don't know, who is law, it's all black and white, and you just do this. And, well, there's a whole spectrum of not just opportunity, but types of law, how you approach law, all those kind of things. I always remember having that conversation with you, which was really neat.
100%. It's creative problem solving.
Yeah. You just happen to have this toolkit.
If you can think outside of a box, which is all they ever tell you to do in the creative world, is just think differently, be different. If you can do that, then you have an opportunity, a chance to bring something into view that person or those persons hadn't considered before. Anytime you can make more pie, awesome.
Right.
You can take two people that are just completely
At odds
and introduce, well, what if that? And that makes your world better and your world better.
Pie for you. Pie for you.
Yeah, right.
So there's a lot of room for that.
Nice. So what's your focus area now? And how long you been practicing?
So 13 years.
Okay.
Got out of law school, hung the shingles, started, and started something like a threshold lawyer. I took a whole lot of what walked over the threshold.
As we all do.
But one by one, I was just ruling things out. I took one criminal law matter, never again. I took one probate matter, never again. If it didn't speak to me, if it just felt foreign, if it felt like factory work.
Yeah.
I just tried it and I moved on. So by elimination, I get down to a point where about 5 years in, 6 years in, I'm pretty sure family law is not where it's at. So
a lot of emotions in that.
I start dropping those things off. And then when I look at what I really enjoy, it's business. So very tightly focused on cradle to grave, small business services, owner operator, 15, 20 million or less, 50 employees or less. And it's closely held. So it's working with an owner.
Private owner, family businesses.
Absolutely.
Yep. All the way to transaction and exit.
So hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. The practice that I'm building over time, I'm 13 years in. I expect to be doing this at least as many more. So I'm looking at about a 25-year run. I want to leave behind a law practice that serves those businesses cradle to grave, and at the grave consideration is able to keep that small business in our community, keep that small business churning by helping them transition to new ownership.
Nice.
In the meantime, if owning a business is what they were always meant to do, and 3 years in they want to go buy another business, and then they want to go buy another business, and they outgrow me, so be it. I'm happy to help with that.
Yeah. Nice.
Awesome.
Let's go!